Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nur Aiman bin Harul Salleh and my metric number 1191418. In this video, I'm going to present to you about my research, which is the title is Abdul Hadi Awang's contribution to the development of Dawah in Malaysia. Before I start, let me introduce you who is Abdul Hadi Awang. His full name is Abdul Hadi bin Awang bin Haji Abdul Rahman bin Haji Abdullah bin Yusuf. He was born in Kampung Rusila, a fishing town near Marang village in Terengganu, and he was born on 20 October 1947. Abdul Hadi is a prominent player in Malaysian politics and dakwah, having carved a name for himself in the history of Islamic resurgence in Malaysia during the late 1970s and early 1980s. Abdul Hadi's political background is fascinating and diverse. From 1977 and 1978, he was the Terengganu chief of Angkatan Belia Islam Malaysia, which are known as ABIM, as well as an officer for the Terengganu Islamic Foundation. Then, let's move to the next slide. Problem statement. Problem statement for the studies is, politics is a sacred thing, and it is the activities of the prophets, not the filthy business that society frequently portrays it to be. Because of the misunderstanding that regards da'wah as a sacred movement that must not be mingled with politics, Muslims will be dominated by individuals who do not consider Islamic law in the context of the state. This is extremely harmful to Islam's da'wah since it is no longer protected by power as it was under the Prophet Muhammad and the Caliph of Islam. In this study, the researcher will examine the leadership of Abdul Hadi Awang because, according to Abdul Hadi Awang, Islam is a religion at once that contains politics. Research question. In this research, I have three research questions, which is first, who is Abdul Hadi Awang to be mentioned by the people? Second, what is the role and contribution of Abdul Hadi Awang in the politic da'wah? And third, what is the contribution of Abdul Hadi Awang to the development of da'wah in Malaysia? Then let's move to the research objective. This research have three objectives, which is first, to get to know about Abdul Hadi Awang more deeply in order to follow in his footsteps. Second, to explain the role and contribution of Abdul Hadi Awang in the politics dakwah. And third, to explain the contribution of Abdul Hadi Awang to the development of dakwah in Malaysia. Important in chapter. The important is this study is about the personality of Abdul Hadi Awang and a description of his contribution to the development of dakwah. In general, Abdul Hadi Awang is a politician in Malaysia, but for this study, only focus on his contribution to the development of dakwah in Malaysia. Furthermore, the spirit of dakwah shown by this figure throughout politics must be taken into account so that the development of dakwah in Malaysia continues to grow. Through this paper, he seeks to re-establish the religion and customs of Islam in the life of Malaysian society. In this slide, I will tell you about the method that used in this research. The research technique is a method or set of tools for conducting research and gathering information. This research is about Abdul Hadi Awang and his contribution to the development of dakwah in Malaysia. The topic that we discuss in this chapter is research design, research procedure, data collection, and data analysis. First, research design. The study's method is qualitative, and it employs narrative research. Narrative research is a type of humanity research in which the researcher examines people's life to tell a story about them. Aside from that, this study is based on a biographical study and textual analysis of Abdul Hadi Awang. Second, research procedure. The technique begins when a researcher select a topic and begin looking for information on that topic. Then the researcher assess the sources and take notes on the informations that pertain to Abdul Hadi Awang. Then third, the third research method is data collection. To obtain information, data collecting is a crucial part of the research process. I gather information through library research and an approach that focuses on Abdul Hadi Awang's biographical studies and textual analysis. Then discover a discrepancy in terms of birth, background, and others based on the information gathered. And last but not least, data analysis. This chapter discusses the data analysis that was gathered via library research through distribution. For this study, the researcher employed content analysis and thematic analysis. The goal of content analysis and thematic analysis is to examine narrative materials from life stories analytically by splitting text into relative small units of contents and applying descriptive treatment to them. Then, the benefits for this research. First, changing people's perception of politics and da'wah, which, on average, they think preaching is a sacred practice and should not be integrated with politics. Second, to make the public or society realize that da'wah can be conveyed through various means, as long as it does not contradict the Islamic laws. And finally, understand the role of Abdul Hadi Awang to politik dakwah. Then, protect and appreciate the contribution that made by Abdul Hadi Awang to the development of dakwah in Malaysia. So that's all from me. Thank you very much and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.